You know what? There's just nothing quite like sitting in a nice warm hot tub on a brisk winter morning. The only problem with that is it's like 4 p.m. It's over 90 degrees outside, and it's definitely not winter. As much as I love hot tubs, this 104 degree water that I'm sitting in the middle of the day in a heat wave is just not really doing it for me. Believe it or not, this is going to be the start of our next project. Oh, you know what though? I am gonna do my best to enjoy it because this is the last time this is gonna be hot for a little bit. This is a really funny camera angle. You gotta admit though, like if I wasn't uncomfortably hot right now and I finally put away that ladder like I've been meaning to for a while, this would be really nice. I wonder if I can set this tripod up like in the hot tub. So oh, look at that, hands free. All right, I don't know why this is funny to me. Oddly enough, I think both hot tubs and cold plunges kind of venture into that territory, like controversial territory. I don't really know why. It's kind of same thing with like fitness and diet and that whole genre. They can get very like opinionated very fast. I know that heat therapy has risks and benefits. I know that cold therapy has risks and benefits. And just for my own sanity, I'd like to try to keep that side of things away from this video and the comment section of this video. And I want this to focus more on like the actual constructing and building of this, because that's the aspect of it I really enjoy. When it comes down to the actual, like if hot tubs are good for you, if cold plunges are good for you, I highly recommend doing your own research on that, because time matters, temperature matters, frequency matters. Like there's a ton of variables that go into this whole hot and cold therapy thing. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that disclaimer out there, but in case you haven't put two and two together, we are gonna try to convert this hot tub into a cold plunge with no real knowledge of what I'm doing. That's not true. I have access to the internet, and the internet's never wrong. All right, let's dry off and get started. I'm gonna hit you guys with some educational backstory here that 90% of you probably either know already because it's common sense, or just don't care, but that's fine. To the whiteboard we go to explain what an ice bath is. Got it? No, I'm half kidding. There is a reason that I wanted to come down here to explain this. This is what I did for months. That's about the simplest way to do an ice bath, is to get a bunch of bags of ice and put them in a bath and then sit in it. I guess there's levels to this shit. The next step, so I've been experimenting with ice baths or cold plunges for years now, I guess. This is gonna be a cooler. There we go. Ice in there. That's level 2. That's some advanced ice bathing right there. You know what? We're doing a full diagram here, a tier list. This is level 1. You get something, whether it's a bathtub, a cooler. A cooler works a lot better because it's insulated, or a barrel. That's a barrel. Boom, look at that. Putting ice in things and then getting in things. That's how I did my cold plunges for a couple months. 3 issues with that. One is that you're spending a bunch of money on ice. You essentially gotta re-ice it every time you wanna get in it. The exception there's the cooler, because it is better insulated. It'll keep its cool for a little bit longer, but you're still buying ice. 2 is that if you're buying like a lot of ice, you don't have the freezer space for it, so you might have to buy a big like separate ice chest freezer. And 3, you have no control over the temperature of the water. You kind of just throw a certain amount of ice in and you guess. Which is why that is level 1 of our ice bath tier list. I don't even know how to draw this, bro. Okay. We're just drawing boxes at this point. Boom, boom. Tub thing, that's a tub thing, and a chiller, like that. And I know what you're thinking, Garrett, you're already a chiller, bro. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Okay, that was dumb. This is kind of in its own category, and we're gonna call this level 2. A chiller does essentially what you think a chiller does, and it chills the water. It's the opposite of a heater. So like hot tubs have a heater, cold plunges have a cooler. Couple issues with level 2 here. Level 2 is definitely a step up from level 1. There's all sorts of kits or package deals you can buy online in this level 2 category, where you have a tub thing, whether it's an inflatable bucket thing, or some people will use coolers as well and sort of DIY and modify them themselves, kind of similar to what we're doing today, and plumb a chiller in there. But there's an issue with level 2. The first one's filtration. I didn't even mention that in level 1 too, but the water's gonna get nasty, especially if you're doing that after workouts. Like that's gonna get disgusting. Now you have water going into the chiller and going back into the tub, but it's not going through any filtration, so it's just recirculating the nasty nast. And one of the bigger things is that a lot of the kits that come with an inflatable tub or whatever are terribly insulated. So you're spending a bunch of money on electricity running this chiller all the time because the actual body of water that you're chilling isn't staying chill. I've never said the word chill so many times. Which brings us to the final level. We're gonna be doing a whole bunch of boxes here. Box 1, box 2, and box 3. And then this is my this is my plumbing. Something like that. Tub. Actually, I'm gonna add insulated tub, filter, chiller, just like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is level 3. Level 3 is where a lot of the DIY projects come in, because a lot of the prefab package deals you buy online just don't add the filter. It's just like a unnecessary added cost to them. A lot of people will use big coolers for this. That was actually my initial plan. I was following this guide online and they recommended this Grizzly 450 cooler. So 450 quarts. It's a big ass cooler, and then you plumb in a filter and a chiller to that, and then you sit in the cooler, and that's your ice bath. That cooler is like $1,500. It's a very expensive cooler. And then on top of that, like the chiller isn't cheap and the filter isn't cheap, at least the ones that he had included in his DIY article that I was reading. So this is where I started using my brain, which is like, this whole video might be a bust and this might not work, but I guess we're gonna find that out. So this is where I started thinking. I was like, okay, let's say that, you know, I don't want to spend almost $2,000 on a cooler that I'm gonna have to drill holes into and probably mess up anyway. I also don't want to buy one of the lower end prefab kits that use one of those cheap, like non-insulated inflatable tubs. And every single DIY article that I saw, you're limited by the size of the cooler that you use, and coolers can only get so big. Like, you start venturing into like hunting coolers that can store like deer and stuff. I want to lounge in my freezing cold ice bath while I suffer. So I started thinking, if only there was something well insulated that was designed to maintain the temperature of the water inside it, that was big enough to fit comfortably in, and that already had piping going in and out of it to plug a chiller into. Do you see where this is going? I've decided that I want to try going the DIY route and convert this hot tub into a cold plunge. This is the whole pump and filter that I was talking about earlier. This thing has a heater inside, so the water gets sucked through the filter, goes in there, comes out hot, and that heats it. My concept here, my idea is that you can, you know, unscrew all that and take the heater and the filter off. Save them, obviously, because I mean, technically now it can be a hot tub in the winter and a cold plunge in the summer, or kind of whatever. You hook up the heater for heat and the cold chiller for cold. You probably see where this is going. I got that's a chiller. It's a chiller, bro. Step 1 is gonna be draining that. My dad explained siphoning to me as a kid, and to this day it still blows my mind. We got the water draining out of the hot tub using the old siphon method. It's just like, I don't know, it's weird how the water can go uphill with no pump or anything. Anyway, we're gonna see how much my plants enjoy hot chlorinated water. I just don't want to waste it. And then really we just gotta map this out. Time has passed. Water is still draining, but this whole siphon thing isn't that quick. I got a little impatient and I disconnected the pump and everything, so we lost a little bit of water. But these are the connections that we're dealing with, and I don't know too much about hot tubs or anything plumbing related, and I don't know why there's 3 holes. So I called my dad. Out, or I guess into the filter, out of the filter into the hot tub, and this one I could not figure it out, and it's for air. It's an air line so that the jets have air, so they have bubbles. So this one can get completely capped off, and then we have the 2 that I was familiar with, which is boom and boom. This should be simple, I think. The goal is to suck water from the tub through the filter so it cleans the water, into the chiller so it chills the water, back into the tub. That's all we have to do. So this thing's heavier than I thought. Let's go put the chiller in place. I don't really know where in place is yet, but somewhere over here. This is where my impatience is really gonna shine through. I ordered a pump, and it just so happens that it's the same pump that the pool uses. The only thing is the pump hasn't come yet, and I really want to do this, so we are going to steal the pump. Here's our little filter. It is a 1/4 horsepower, 2,200 gallons per hour, which is within the range for the 1 horsepower chiller that we have. I think that I can lock this. We just don't have a way to lock these, so I think I'm gonna have to disconnect it here, and then maybe like zip tie it up here, because it just has to be above the water line or else all the water is gonna come out. We're MacGyvering this. We're not doing it right, but we're doing it. This is so not the right. I should just wait. The Amazon order comes in tomorrow, dude. I'm embarrassingly impatient, but that's fine. This is gonna get messy real quick. Okay, come on up here, buddy. There you go. Yeah, they're all good. Now, I just need to figure out how to get this to stay here and we're fine. Oh, can I just do this? Oh, let's use our brains for a second. That's a whole lot easier than what I was trying to do. And I should be able to unscrew this now. Come on, don't let me down. Yeah, okay, that's locked and sealed. Cool, we have our pump and filter now. Now that we have stolen the pump, we can go back up and kind of get everything. Oh, it's dripping on my nipples. So this is gonna be the flow of things. From this into this, through the filter, into that, into the in on the chiller, comes out of the out, and the out goes straight in there. Doesn't that make sense? The only real challenge here is gonna be finding all the right fittings and couplings to get the plumbing done. I got this hot tub used, and I guess the dude had it for like 8 years before he sold it to me. I don't think these have ever been unhose clamped. Oh, these things are just like melted in. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. In theory, all we have to do is figure out what size, either tubing, if we want to do something like this, or piping, we need to get from here to here, and then from here to here, and then from here to here. And we need a cap for this. The well, quote-unquote difficult part of this is that we want it to all be removable so that we can swap it out for this to convert it back to heat as a hot tub when we want. This part's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be the first to admit that I severely underestimated the work that went into this. It's been like a week since I last filmed. I got a haircut, everything's changed. A couple things came to light, and the first one is like, oh, all I need to do is figure out how to connect these to this. The chiller's under there. I also found out that you can't have the chiller, it's not for outdoor use, so I gotta build like a little shelter for it to protect it from rain and snow and sun and all that. That's a whole nother project. To get these to this, it was not as straightforward as I made it sound in my head. I had to get all sorts of little connectors and adapters and tubing and all sorts of things, but I think I finally have this down. I had to wait for all these to come in because I had to order. They didn't have them at Home Depot or Ace or anything. You can see I made a little parts list and how it all goes here. From lower hot tub to reducer, I put yes for things that I ordered so I didn't get confused. From hot tub to reducer to 1.5 inch PVC that I get from Ace to barb to vinyl tube to adapter to like it took me hours to figure this out. However, I believe that we have every single fitting and hose clamp, and the new pump came in, so I put the other pump back on the pool. As far as I know, we are looking at everything that I will need, including the chiller that's under there to... I think it'll be easy. Famous last word. By the way, this is all Gabe's fault.
Cold plunge?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was content with the hot tub.
No.
No what?
Hot tubs are whack.
I got the hot tub set up. I sent Gabe a picture. Well, we've been talking about cold plunges for a while now.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. All right, I guess let's just get started doing this. So I forget where we left off a week ago, but I'm actually gonna plug one of these because I found out that the smaller one was actually for air, because it aerates the jets, if that makes any sense. It also works fine with water. So this is a 1-inch connection, and that's a 1-inch connection. Instead of trying to plumb both of them to these, I can just run a 1-inch tube from here to there. So that kind of solves that. But these, on the other hand, happen to fit there perfectly, so we crank that, or actually it goes on this one. This is the suck tube, so this gets sucked in from the filters inside the hot tub, and I have to run this to this, which is the pump motor. Then it goes from there into the filter, from the filter into that, and then from that back to this one. Pretty sure our biggest op here is gonna be making sure everything is watertight, because I'm using so many like variations of adapters and fittings and stuff. This has to go here one way or another. That is where these come in, because this screws on to this and works as a sort of adapter, because these are like specifically threaded for this brand. So that threads on there, and now that's where this vinyl tubing comes in. The only thing is we can't go from vinyl tubing to this. We need PVC pipe. This is where I used my brain here. So we got this 1.5" PVC, and we also have this thing, which is 1.5" PVC to a little barb fitting there. And you guessed it, the barb fitting goes there, and then the other end of that goes there. It's very, I'm feeling very reassured right now, knock on wood, but because I didn't have these tangible things to look at, so I sort of just like pieced it together in my brain, and I hope that it all works. So far feeling good. I think before cutting this, I'm gonna glue our little barb on, and then, I mean, I'm assuming this can kind of be as long as we need it to, but I'd rather it be short. I want to avoid as much actual PVC as possible and use the vinyl tubing so you can move things around, and it's somewhat portable, whereas, you know, hard PVC is locked in place. I like the idea of having all the piping be flexible. Now we prime it up. I really don't think it's good for you, but I love the way this stuff smells. Get this nice and lathered up there. Then we get some of that sticky icky. I heard you don't even need to use the primer with this. Oh no, don't, oh, there it goes. I've gotten into the habit of using the primer, but apparently you don't need it with this one. Ooh, look at that ooey gooey. Alrighty. And I think there's multiple correct ways to do this, but my dad taught me to just do like a quarter twist and then let it sit. I'm gonna let that dry for a sec and probably snip it, because I mean, that's going into that little reducer right here, so we need like, what, just 2 inches, I'd say? Much rather it be too long than too short. Story of my life, huh? We're gonna play it safe. We're gonna go right there. Nice. And then that should fit nice and snug. I gotta loosen this. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Crank that down. Perfect, okay, that's all feeling good, and now we just use this 1.5" tubing to go from there to there, and then hose clamp it onto there. I just realized I have no idea how to cut this. Can I just use the saw? It's like, it has these like wire braid things in it. Yeah, something like that. There's gotta be a right way to cut this, but this is safe, right? It's just that wire. I think I'm better off just like snipping that. Looks like our length is good. Now we gotta slip it onto the barbs. I wonder if I'm supposed to like lube this up or something. Oh man. If it's hard to get on, that means it's hard to get off, right? Oh boy. I mean, I think that's fine as is. I'm just being stubborn now. And we're gonna hose clamp it, so that's gonna be extra secure. All right, I am confident that that's not gonna leak at all. And then same thing on this end. And we crank that down. This is a softer plastic, so I don't wanna crank it down too hard, but that should be plenty. That's not going anywhere. And look, we have our first connection. And now, just before I forget, I might as well cap that off, because again, we're not gonna be using this one. We're just gonna do a direct connection from here to there. I'm pretty curious, like, how all of this is gonna hold up under pressure, but I guess that's what we're gonna find out later. Okay, I mean, it should be. That's not going anywhere, dude. Now, I think we'll just cut this to size. So this is the inch tubing that is going to go from the out port on the chiller straight into the hot tub right here. This one's hopefully gonna be the easiest one of them all. There, we'll give ourselves a little slack, so we'll cut it like right there. Again, we only cut the hoses the wrong way here. There we go, perfect. And then actually, you know what, before I hook up this hose, I want to elevate this a little bit using some, not like stones, like cinder blocks, just because it's not supposed to be outside to begin with, so I'm gonna build a little awning for it, but I also want it a little bit elevated off the ground, just to be safe. And that is where these things come into play. That's actually perfect. Dude, these barb connections are hard. I wonder if I'm supposed to like lube them up first or not. Boom, that one's connected, and that one is connected, and now all we need is this one to this one, which is where this comes into play. So, in theory, we just put this to this, right? And then we put this to that. Are you following it all? Right, here's our little dangle dongle looking thing, and then this one goes on to here. This is essentially just to convert it from the 1 inch out of the chiller to the 1.5 inch to go into the filter. And I think that it'll all be fine in terms of pressure and all that, because I know like that's the one concern of going from 1.5 inch to 1 inch to
that's all I'm doing. So we'll see. I mean, this is all an experiment, bro. I don't know. I don't know anything about plumbing, or I guess that's what this would be, right? I just enjoy tinkering with things and seeing what happens. So hopefully it works out.
See the vision now? 1 inch converted to 1.5 inch. This goes all the way down, and we plug it. Oh, I gotta put a hose clamp on there. Okay, that should be it. Boom. There we go. I actually did clean it up a little bit. I'm kind of rearranging this to what looks good. I don't want any of this stuff too close in case it gets splashed. Here is the final product. And I put that in quotes because we don't even know if it works yet. But from the hot tub into the pump, from the pump into the filter, from the filter into the in port on the chiller, and then the out port of the chiller straight into the hot tub again. In theory, everything is done. I ordered a new cover for the hot tub, by the way. Now I think all we have left is to fill it with water and really hope this works. And here goes nothing. Let that fill up, and while that's filling up, I'm gonna work on cleaning up, getting everything situated, and then we turn it on and hope there's no leaks. Okay, water is full. Believe it or not, I actually went through and read the manual for the chiller because I really don't want to break it or ruin it. I actually turned the pump around so that I have access to the switch to turn it on and off. The only thing that I might want to do differently, I learned of something called a flow switch that essentially activates based on if it senses flow. If I run the chiller without the pump and filter, bad things happen because the pump has to suck the water through it. So I always have to remember to turn this on first and then turn the chiller on, or I can get that flow switch, I called it, and then it would automatically turn the chiller on once it senses the flow. Doesn't matter. I think it's time to test everything out. I am a little bit nervous because like all the DIY guides online use like a cooler and it's very straightforward. You drill your own holes. I'm kind of just like banking that I plumbed all of this right based on the pre-existing piping. I couldn't find any guides for a soft tub. That's the brand of hot tub I have. So let's try it. Step 1 is turn the pump on. Pump is on, and we have no leaks so far, at least. Step 2 is to make sure that we're actually, we have flow out of the jets. That's a good sign, so that means that it's going through the chiller. The chiller's not on yet. That means it's pulling, pushing, bada. Okay, so we have flow there. We have flow there. We have flow there. And we have flow there. We have flow in all of the jets, which means the circulation itself is working. Now, I go through and turn that on. I read the manual. It says it takes 60 seconds to turn on, so now we wait. Okay, it just turned on. You can hear it. I have it set to 50 degrees. The water is 72 right now. I have it on boost mode for power cooling. I just want to get down to temperature, and I'll probably turn boost off, actually, to save electricity. But now, I think. I mean, will I be able to feel it get cold already? I don't think so. It doesn't feel cold yet. I don't know how chillers work. But I'm gonna throw that's the cover. The cover is very sad right now. My new cover should hopefully be coming in next week, so I'm gonna toss that on just for insulation. And then, I mean, dude, tomorrow we gotta build. I'm thinking like a sort of wooden canopy thing just over it, because this is supposed to be kept from rain and snow, obviously, but also from direct sunlight. So I'm thinking if we have like a wooden roof that maybe comes out to here, I think that's all we need. I also have no idea. Regardless, it'll be in the shade for the rest of today, and then I'll let it cool tonight, and hopefully tomorrow can be our first cold plunge. It's the most pathetic excuse for a hot tub cover. It might be better than nothing, right? Pump is on, chiller is on, that is covered. I'll see you guys at some point in the future, and we hope it works. It's really, really hard to put into words how miserable this sounds right now. I just woke up pre-coffee, pre-anything. Good morning. I'm not fully awake yet, but I think I'm going to be. I came out a couple minutes ago before filming, and it was at 50, and it had automatically turned off because that was the set temperature, but I turned it back on just to show you guys, but now it says 51. I am going to turn it off for now. There that goes, and then there that goes, just to save some electricity because that's been running all night. That's good. The chiller works. That just that means it's gonna be cold. Little bit of cold plunge backstory. This is 1000% me just procrastinating getting in. It's been 6 months since I last cold plunged, I think, but I used to do it daily. I started around like 55 or 60 degrees, and I would do like 2 minutes at a time, and then I'd work up to 5, and then I think I was doing like 8 minutes at 55 degrees, which is actually kind of on the longer end of what you're supposed to do, but I liked it. And then eventually I was doing 50 degrees for 5 minutes, which is, we're at 50 degrees right now, which was it's the cold end. I experimented with doing like mid 40s, and at that point it was just like too much suffering. I didn't notice many more benefits. So we're at 51 degrees right now. I want to do 3 minutes. Do you know how bad, like, I don't want to do this right now? Oh, I forgot about cold plunges, dude. I forgot that it's more mental than anything. Nah, bro, I can't do that. I got our 3-minute timer set. I'm like shivering already, dude. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I can't do that. I don't know if I can do this. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Alright. People do colder plunges, and people do like 40s. I'm at 50 right now, but I think it's just because it's been so long. It's mental. It's a mental game. It's just fucking water. It's cold water. Why am I complaining about cold water? I'm choosing to do this for myself. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh my god. I'm gonna die. I think I'm dying. Oh, I forgot to push start. Okay. This is good. This is good for me, right? Yep. Great. I feel good. Okay, I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. I'm so cold. Oh boy. Okay, time's up. Oh. Shrinkage is real. The part about cold plunges, the brutal part of it, I can't even think or talk. I feel awake though, let me tell you. You're supposed to let your body warm up naturally. So like you can't take a warm shower or like a hot tub or anything. I just gotta I'm gonna go stand up there in the sun and kind of warm up. I feel rejuvenated though. Take me to the sun. Oh, it looks so glorious and magnificent. I need the sun rays. Oh, see, and then you touch the sun and it's like, oh, it's doing unthinkable things to me. I think this is what heaven feels like. That is unreal feeling. I think we can confidently, undoubtedly say that was a success. I had gotten really comfortable taking hot tubs and I forgot how brutal cold plunges were. Oh man, dude, I'm still like, it chills you from like the inside out. And then after I warm up in the sun for a little bit and dry out, I go inside and put on like a hoodie and sweats and socks and just like let my body reheat naturally. Back when I used to do it every day, I noticed like huge improvements of like, it wakes you the fuck up real quick if you do it first thing in the morning, and that energy carries throughout the day. But I think that the benefits also go a lot deeper than that, from what I remember, like your circadian rhythm or something. Like there's a lot that goes into it. I mainly do it for like recovery, like muscles and joints and bones after skating and running, and like it does good things to your body if you do it like the morning after. Or wait, I can't even. I'm too cold to think right now. I know if you cold plunge right after working out, it can like diminish I don't know, dude. I gotta get back into researching it. I was pretty deep into it like a year ago. Apparently I forgot a lot of what I learned. My toes feel like they're getting ran over by freight trains right now. Oh, they're so red. Well, yeah, I mean, that's gonna be my morning routine now. I'm gonna try to do that every single day. It gets easier. I do remember that. I think the reason it was so hard was because it's been so long. After I was doing it for like 2-3 weeks in a row, you just like walk out the door, you get in, you don't even think about it, and it's just like, it's mellow somehow. I don't know how that works, but this was cool. This was like our first project that wasn't like fabrication related, fingerboard rails, reel rails. This was just like a really fun thing I've been wanting to do for a while. Super stoked it actually turned out and it worked, and now I can freeze every morning. Love that. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the process. Appreciate you watching. Catch you next video. Peace out. I'm gonna go absorb some more sun.